Greetings, salutations, whatever you may, and welcome to the Chaos Studio. This is going to be the first long-form video on this channel, which is very exciting because as of now, I've only ever really posted shorter, less detailed things here, such as music and other things as well, but mostly music. So, I decided that a good first long video to do would be a cosplay process because I have been getting into that lately and it has been very fun. I have done some tinkering outside of the camera, such as this sword. I made it with foam around the house. But props are not what we're going to be focusing on today. Today, I will be making a character cosplay for Chongyun from Genshin Impact. I will put a picture here. Yeah, now you're probably wondering, how am I gonna do this? The answer is not by sewing, because I do not know how to sew well, nor do I have a sewing machine. So for the sake of my sanity, I will just do the top half of the cosplay. You know, his pants seem like a menace to fabric glue together. With that said, I will still be trying my absolute best in the accuracy, references out, all of that good stuff. And hopefully I will have some good photos to show you at the end. I'm very glad to be here and I'm very glad to be making one of these longer videos for a change. I don't know how regular this will be, but it's gonna be fun, I feel. So without further ado, we shall begin. I started with a shirt, some mock-up material, and my actual fabric. I knew that the shirt was a little bit big, so it actually just gave me free seam allowance. I cut out the main part of the shirt and then realized I don't know how sleeves work, so I looked up some patterns, tried to draw one myself, and accidentally made it too small, so I did have to retry. Here's me doing that. Afterwards, I was able to get it and trace it onto the white fabric, and as I was about to cut it out, I thought all was well, and then the camera fell over. Alright, there are patterns, and I am not looking forward to the putting together vaguely a shirt process, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I already started getting the seams like here done, but I still have to do that for the sleeves and for the front neckline, I think. So I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna come back and attach everything. And so began the actual assembly process. I started off by gluing the sleeves together to create an actual sleeve shape, except I accidentally did it off frame. We will ignore that. I then tried to figure out how I'm supposed to attach them onto this shirt because, spoiler alert, I don't know how to do that. I then decided to postpone the sleeve attachments because I still have a few details that I need to put on the sleeves before I want to attach them to the final shirt. I made the slit in the back of the shirt, and then I didn't know what to do because fabric glue does need to dry. I checked out my other materials and then kept going. Then I realized I do need a hood, and so that began. I tried to figure out what a hood pattern looked like and then went on my merry way. I realized it was actually going to have to be quite big, and I did in fact use one of my own hoodies as just a reference point for how big exactly it needed to be. And with Google by my side, I made a hood pattern. And then I had to fight with my fabric as I tried to figure out where exactly I was able to cut it. At this point I had to go off and do something, so I decided I would just finish it off camera. You may be wondering, hold on, why is this part 2? We still haven't attached the sleeves to the shirt. Well, yeah, about that. I still need to put some details on the sleeves, so I went ahead and did that. There's this sort of blue triangle in the sleeves at the top, so what I did off camera was create a slit, and now here I am fastening the blue triangles to them. I think it looks really good and is starting to help bring the whole energy of this cosplay together. I did turn them inside out and fasten them from the other side as well for, you know, maximum security or whatever. Then the sleeves also have these patterns around the blue that I had to recreate with a silver paint pen. My friend actually gave these to me not too long ago, and they are proving useful. I just did the one sleeve with the pure outline, and then I had to add in these more elaborate, like square and triangle patterns onto the other. Once the sleeves were attached, the next item on the task list was to fasten details to the shirt itself. I began with the gold piece on the back, and then used my blue ribbon to trim the hood. But there were still additional details on the hood that I had to make, so I took this dome-shaped old trick-or-treating bag and mounted the hood on it so that I could more easily do the ribbon details. As you can see in this final showcase, it ended up looking pretty good. I did have to fold the ribbon over to emulate a curve, but overall I'm quite happy with how the hood looks, especially that blue trim. And just like that, we're at the home stretch. I made a new white flap of fabric to go over the front and trimmed it with blue ribbon. Now it's time to start making those clasps that go in front of the shirt. I cut out the ribbon-looking part just using blue felt, and then cut circles out of the felt, which I covered with dark blue fabric as buttons. That's okay, since these don't have to be functional at all. With that, I brought out the silver paint pen one more time to add in those final details on the fabric. There's these blue circles in the middle of the silver circles, so I just cut out some more leftover felt for that. The very last thing to do was cut out some gold diamonds and braid some blue ribbon to emulate the clasp. Enter the vision crystal. I've made a couple of these before at this point, one for a cosplay for myself and 2 or 3 for gifts for some people who I knew who played Genshin. And at this point I understood how to make the liyue vision, so I went ahead and did what I did. It's just some squares, some angular cuts, and one really frustrating hollowed out octagon. I proceeded to do the cryo symbol as well. I couldn't get in all of the details since I was working with felt, but I considered it an okay job. Next up was the actual belt, which honestly kind of scared me, but when I started making the buckle adjacent thing, it ended up not really being as bad as I thought. So if ever you are scared, I suppose just learn from that. Sometimes it's not as bad as you think it is. Then I wanted to make the tassel, which, by the way, that string that I made with felt did tear before I was able to take photos, so I did have to fix it with tape. The tassel itself, though, was intact and it was fine. Finally, there was this one last clasp-looking thing on the belt that I had to make, so I went ahead and did it using a very similar technique to how I made the vision. Last came some of the accessories, like this bangle. I had a ribbon thing that had already run out, so I used the roll and just created it by covering it with felt. Then came the weird hand armor cover thing. I'll put a picture of it. I still don't understand how it works, but yeah, I just made it with some felt, and here's me putting it on top of the fingerless glove I intended to use. Look at that. What a beauty. We have done it. The project is complete. I am very happy with this result, especially considering the fact that I did all of the fabric work with recycled pillowcases and some felt. I'm sure you're probably here at the end section solely for the pictures, so I will start playing that montage with some additional commentary. And here we are. There are the photos. I just did these inside a hotel room because I couldn't wait until after I was done traveling to take them, so I just went ahead and did it. They came out great, and I'm really happy with the final product. And in the future, I think I'm gonna do another cosplay process video like this because this was just a lot of fun. But until then, thank you so much for watching and have a nice day.